Hi, this is Dimensions with D. I'm your host, D'Angelo, and you're listening to the University of Memphis radio station, The Roar. And so I was going to go um, do a part two of my uh, college survival guide that I did in episode one, but since November is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, I kind of wanted to go talk about that this episode because it's something that me myself, has been dealing with a lot. Especially, I would say a lot during my course of my time during my course of my time here at U of M, and especially this semester, especially. And so, I kind of want to talk about that because I would say it's something that we as a campus don't really talk about enough. We kind of, I would say, we all suffer in silence a little bit, and I know that could be especially true for men, especially men in college. So for me, I would say mental health has always been one of those things I've come to learn and keep learning, especially as I've gotten older and try to be more comfortable with myself. I would say. Um, I guess I would say it's really different going through each experience and going through each thing, and because I would say each experience is different and it makes you feel something different. Because I would say balancing, I guess it really comes to, I guess when it comes to college, it's all about balancing everything, like schools, expectations from which can be from like family, people you know, and even yourself. Leadership, because I would say the people here, well, the way old people here try to put this uh, thing of or a role of being a leader, especially if you're in a club or like you are in a leadership type position here on campus, they like to put that label on you even if you don't feel like you're one yourself. And as well as I would say being someone that people can count on. If you take all those things, it can really take a toll on uh, you and your mental health. And so I would say at a certain point you start to realize how easy it is to ignore your peace. And I would say eventually it will start to affect you. And I would say, I guess when it comes to me, I would say I've always when I was growing up, mental health wasn't really a thing. Like I didn't know like the idea of mental health was a thing until I would say when I was in high school, and so but I feel like honestly I've dealt with it my whole life. I just didn't know it, but I feel like high school was kind of like a especially towards the end, it was kind of like a breaking point where it was just like I know something's going on, but I don't know what. But it wasn't until I started my freshman year here at college, here on this campus, that I decided to get help. But to go back, I feel like I guess to go on to my family. Um, I've always was kind of I'll say I've been conditioned to I guess hold everything in, not be overly I guess emotional at all, even still today. Um, um, because I would say it was always it was always felt like it was a bad thing to cry, because I know something I was always told was I know the line was always stop being a French girl, and so just the way I've always heard it, it was like a negative thing, and so it was kind of like I don't know. I feel like that affects me today because I would say sometimes it's really hard to cry. Like, well, I don't because like I would because like I'm so like I feel like I definitely cried recently, but because but I guess when I think of crying, I think of people just bawling their eyes out. But for me, it's always just like one or two like my eyes get watery, and then one or two tear falls out. And that's kind of it. And so, because like thinking about it right now, like I don't remember the last time I was just like bawling crying. I've always just been like I don't know, and I feel like it even takes a lot even to like do like the one or two tears cry. It takes a lot even to get that, but that's I guess it goes back to just me being conditioned to not cry. It's like I don't know. It just makes me wonder. And so, but to and so I've always I guess had this thing of just trying to be strong and hold everything because I guess back in the high school or I guess growing up, I guess I never knew it was okay or that like there was like someone ever told me that it was okay to do all that like there was literally no one like people I went to church with family. I didn't have any friends still then who so I didn't I didn't there was no chance for me to see other people around my age doing like being emotional with like crying and things of that nature. So I guess it was just a lot to think about because I've been through many that was negative things up to this point in my life. So I kind of sometimes like I think back and wish like that's one of the things I wish that was kind of different and like where I think sometimes I think of like where would I be now if I was allowed to be that way. And so to transition from high school to college, well, I guess for context, I I did online school from third grade to the end of high school, so that's like 10 years. So that's like third grade to 12th grade, so that's 10 years. And so during that time, I wasn't really around people my age, and so I guess when I got to college, that was one of the first things I was kind of looking forward to, and I thought I could just you know be myself, and and I also had applied to a program here that was for first generations college students. I won't say the name of the program, but it's a program that's still happening today. But the funny thing is about that is I didn't even know it was a program until like I had the Zoom call with like the people involved. But I thought it was just like a random like I was just applying to random scholarships and I just applied to that and I guess and then I eventually just got accepted and everything. It was really interesting. But to tie that in, um, because I was in a program, I was in a cohort with um, mostly freshmen. Yeah, wait, yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, we were all freshmen. Yeah, we were all freshmen, and so we had this class called. Um, we had this class our first semester called academic strategies, and so and I remember one of the things we that was stressed because we had to do like a I think at the time it was still a Zoom. It was like a Zoom call where the person in charge of the program. I feel like from what I remember, it was stressed that it was such a great community and we were all gonna be great friends. Really, like that's what I remember the gist of it, right? And so I thought I could just like um, be myself. And so, but I quickly learned that that was not really the case, and so it's something. Yeah. So we all took this class called academic strategies, of course, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9:40 to 11:05. Yeah, yeah. Something that obviously separated me from well, I guess there's two things actually that separated me from the rest of my cohort slash classmates was the fact that one, I wasn't really like that social compared to literally everyone else, and two, I took my I took my work very seriously compared to them. Because I remember because we had because they had made like a group chat on Snapchat, and so I remember uh, they used to always like ask me uh what to do, or like how to do for an assignment, because I always was like I always used to be like, because I remember they always used to be like asking about it, and I used to be like, oh, I'm done, or like I've already done it, so they used to just always kind of like badger me about stuff like that. And so I would say things were going well for I would say things were going well up until, I want to say, I know it was definitely in October, but it may have actually started in like late September, early October, where um I was in a lounge with a couple of the upperclassmen who were also first gen, and then I think at least one of my person who took the class with me was there, and then I remember I left the lounge for the day, and then I remember I got like a message from one of the upperclassmen asking to meet at the library, and then they had told me that once I left the lounge, one of my classmates was like talking and spreading rumors about me, how I was too studious, and they talk about how I used to like leave class in a weird way, and because mind you, at the time I thought we were all like friends and everything, and so to me it really stung that they were like spreading like rumors and just talking about me as soon as I left the room, because yeah, because I thought we were all friends, and so I guess in my mind I'm thinking like, if if you had like an issue or something, why not bring it, like why not say it to my face, basically, yeah. And so that that really that that, that really that really that really stung to me, and so I don't know, I and so and I think something else happened. It's like, I think it was all, well yeah, it turned out to be all a coincidence, and but like the friend of the girl who was, well, the friend of the person who was like starting the rumors and everything, she started to say that like I was like um following her around on campus, even though we all just happened to be at the same place. Because I think, yeah, because it was still like my first semester, and so I was still just learning, like going places just to see what the places were, and we all just happened to be in the same places, I guess. And so after learning that second thing, it was, I don't know, I felt like my mind kind of broke. I would say, and so um and so and so oh yeah, I remember what happened was, once I like found that out too, I ended up having like my first panic attack. And so I don't. It felt like, the way I described it was, it felt like my whole like world was like spinning. I was like drowning. Like the walls were closing in, and cause I remember it was like, I felt it right outside of BCM on Patterson, and so it was like, I felt like I could barely breathe, and so I felt like I just got so overwhelmed with life in general. I felt, because I don't know, because I felt like once I got to that point, I felt like I was just such a like burden to everyone, to society, and like, I don't know. I guess I thought, I guess something in my mind too. I guess something that came to my mind was how terrible my life had already been to that point anyway, and so I I ended up attempting to. Well, I attempted to take my life. I know it was definitely during like that week, but it was I don't know was it that night I like all that happened or I know it was definitely during that week, but it might either been that day or like later during that week. I just know it happened that week. But of course I ended up didn't go through there. I couldn't like I stopped kind of like halfway, but yeah, that was definitely some. I remember after going through or like not going through with it. That was when I think yeah that was when I finally realized that I needed help and someone to talk to, and so um I think yeah because I don't think I like I think yeah I remember like seeking out help on my own. I didn't like go to the person in charge of the program, but yeah, I remember I had like the consultation at the counseling center here, and then I think after that, because it was like because it was in the middle of the semester, so I think yeah, so I guess interesting looking back now, like I didn't like I think I did get my counselor that I have now. I I got it like I guess probably early November. It's like because I remember I didn't have the counselor like that long for that semester, so that's something interesting, I guess. But I end up after that whole thing, I think I skipped at least two classes, and it was I don't know. I feel like I ended up making up an excuse because cause I was I was one of like the best students in the academic strategies class. Because I remember the person in charge of the program, they taught the class, so because they taught the class and they were over the program, so it was kind of noticeable when I wasn't there, and so I remember um, I guess class happened. I guess they talked about me because I wasn't there. It just which I guess looking back, I still want to know like what was said, but the instructor or the person in charge of the program, they I want to say they shot me a text because they have my contact because I don't remember getting the email, but I feel like it was a text, and then we ended up having like a Zoom, and then I feel like as I mentioned before, I had to like uh, make it something because at the time I didn't want to like throw anyone under the bus uh, because also I think in the back of my mind is I thought I will be with my cohort the entire 4 years because it was a 4 year program, and so but well we quickly fell off that first semester, but yeah, but I ended up going back to class eventually because I remember we had like our class presentations, yeah, but but yeah I missed I missed a couple of days. I remember like the day the day I came back, it was like one of the like classmates was hey, you're back. I was like, sure. But I do remember something good that came out of it. I guess kind of sort of was like in terms of like classmates was one of my classmates, and I don't know how she got in the dorm. Well, our the dorm suite because the part of the thing for the program is that like most majority of us we lived in Centennial, and so that I think I think it was the third floor because third floor was like kind of reserved for the well I don't know about like first gen, but I know like the people in our program we majority of us lived on that floor, and so she lived in the suite across from me. Yeah, and then but anyway, she was in my suite, and then I remember it was like a day. It was one of the days I didn't go to class, and I heard a knock, and like I was like watching, like I was like in the bed, but like I guess I didn't get up soon enough, and then when I got to the door, like she wasn't there, but she had left a note, it was like a kind message, but like, and then I remember it's funny just thinking about it, but like I well no I didn't call her. Well, what happened was I sent her like a message on Snapchat. I don't know why, because I had her on both Snapchat and Instagram, but I guess for some reason I just did it on Snapchat. But and then I think less than 5 minutes, probably like 90 seconds. I remember I feel like it was quickly like after that though. She called me back through Snapchat because I didn't have her number or anyone's number, and like and then we had like a brief like probably like a 90-second conversation. But I don't know. I was kind of like touched by that, I guess, because I don't know, because like I guess one I don't know. I guess I feel like she didn't have to do it, but uh, she did, and that was kind of like that kind of meant something to me. So yeah, but that whole ordeal with that whole class was just I would say the catalyst of I would say where things started to go well. Things started to take a dark turn for me on campus, and so but the one plus side of that whole thing was me uh, starting my counseling sessions here on campus. And that's something I'm still doing right now. But and it really helps to speak with someone, because I feel like my counselor is, I would say he's the only person he's the only person in my life that I can talk to without training some like train a character that because I would say whenever I'm on campus, I'm portraying a character, like a different version of myself, based on who the person is or what the setting is. And so I feel like with my counselor, I can be 100% myself and just be so vulnerable and just truly honest with like my issues that I go through and how my mind works. And it's been definitely a real help so far. And then especially and then I guess and also for like I guess another aspect of it is I would say it would be I guess making grades too. I guess it's I would say it's grades. And then I guess another thing I also been thinking about is like kind of leaving a legacy on campus. I guess I would say I guess in terms of like being a yeah campus leader, because I would say I've been in a couple of positions, student leader positions here on campus. It's all of which have taken a toll off me. I would say definitely. And so I don't know. I feel like if you were to ask most people, um, I would say, I would say they would think that I would have it like I have it all together. what I clearly, what I clearly don't. Um, I think maybe just because, um, uh, I think maybe I think that because I would say I'm really proficient at pretending to be everything, like pretending that everything's okay, and like, and I give, and I give out automatic responses a lot. And what I mean by automatic responses is like when someone asks you, uh, how you been, or how have you been, or how you're doing, I just say, uh, I say doing okay, doing great, doing good, or doing okay. Something like something quick and simple that that will end that conversation right then and there. And because I know that's not how I actually am, but I think a part of that is actually like trust. It's like if I tell you like the right answer, well, like the actual answer, what is that going to like? Nothing you do or say is going to make me feel better or change the way I'm feeling, change my situation, or that is change how I'm feeling due to the situation I'm in, and so I feel like that's why I give out uh, automatic responses. I'm trying to get a little bit better about that because with a few certain people, um, I remember I would say 2 semesters ago, um, I would say there's two people in who's in the program that I was previously in. They're both um, sophomores now. Uh, um, one one of two people, both sophomores. Uh, one of the name is Caleb. I remember I saw him recently, but we haven't talked. Yeah, I don't think we actually talked since last semester. And then the other one, her name is Hilda. And then yeah, I feel like I've and she I don't think last month I think I talked to her at the beginning of the semester, but uh, I feel like, but honestly I feel like we we really wouldn't have a reason to like talk if that makes sense. Talk anymore if that makes sense, because well, I'll say like no one really really reaches out to me. I feel like it's always me doing that, and so like I don't. I feel like I feel like I will be doing a little bit too much if I were to do it to them, but you know that I feel like that's life, I guess. But they weren't they were important to me because I guess I don't know. I feel like I can lower my guard a little bit and be more open and honest. And I feel like seeing how they were like younger than me, but I was still able to connect with them. And I feel like when I was around them, um, I I felt normal, like an actual normal person. Where like I don't know, I feel like I had friends. I guess I was saying so. It was easy to talk, and and even though I had a little crush on Hilda at the time, well, it was kind of that like that little. Uh, it was I had a crush on her the semester I met her, and so but I didn't actually tell her till the semester after that, and so but that was really interesting. But they were really cool. And then I guess currently, I guess two people that I think are really cool, and that I found out that are easy to talk to and just I think really good people, good junior people are two people I met in Tiger Catholic uh, group on campus. They're actually siblings. Sam, who was my guest, uh, in in the last episode, and then his twin sister, uh, Claire. And so I so I actually met them this semester, and so they were really cool to talk to, especially in regards to like faith and everything. With them being Catholic, I feel like I've been uh, learning a lot, and with them both being freshmen, it's really refreshing that to find to find and know that there are, I guess, still people that there are some still good people that I can like I guess I'll say talk to or like hang around that like I feel like I don't have to pretend as much, I guess I would say. And so yeah. And I also would like to add that like I'm I, for the four people I've just talked about, I'm I'll say I'm really grateful to have met them. Yeah, met them because I would say it's really really hard for me to be social connect with be social connect and talk with like other people, especially in Memphis and especially here on campus. And so that's always been a struggle and I feel like it always will be for me. But I guess just to find those people, it's really been, I feel like I would say a step in the right direction. And so that will conclude this week's episode of Dimensions with D. I probably will do a part two to this since I didn't go through everything. I realized halfway that I was just scratching the surface, but I probably will try to do the next part probably on the next episode, probably next week. And so, thank you for listening.